Hey everyone, I'm Aidan Walls, and today we're talking about why the iPad Pro is an absolute ripoff. I bought this iPad Pro with the promise from Apple that it was more powerful than 80% of laptops in the world.
And faster than 92% of portable PCs.
Which probably is true, but also a bit of a ridiculous claim because most laptops in the world are pretty crappy. That being said, I've always enjoyed iPad. I've always enjoyed the form factor. I've always enjoyed the operating system, and I've loved the way that it optimizes all the bits and pieces that you may encounter on it. So an app, plugging in whatever sort of dongle or whatever, it always works really well. But what I'm going to focus on today is how I decided I'm going to use it as a pro device. So I had a Fuji camera at the time, and so the footage from that camera worked on here. There's some incredible things. I mean, I can run 10-bit footage, which is a very high quality, it uses a lot of power on your device to run that footage, and I could do that and edit that on my iPad. So there's a lot of things that are incredible about the iPad, and I still think it is the best tablet in the world. But if you are looking for a laptop replacement, I think for most people it is a laptop replacement. But let's get into why the Pro is definitely not the tablet I would recommend to anyone. So let's talk about the cost and video editing. So if you look at the price of this versus the iPad Air, it just doesn't warrant the shift. And if Marques Brownlee dropped a video regarding how the iPad Air is the new iPad Pro killer, and I would go as far to say as the old iPad Air is the old iPad Pro killer. We just weren't aware of it at the time. The price just far outweighs the benefits of getting the Pro. All you're really getting for that money is longevity. The Pro is typically faster. You know, that always is good to keep your device lasting much longer into the future. But that's a huge price to pay just to have a device that's going to last a little bit longer. And iPads typically do last very long anyway. I was running GarageBand on my very old iPad for an incredibly long amount of time, and I was doing iMovie and all that sort of thing until it absolutely gave up on me, and that iPad was maybe 5 years old. So, you know, they do last a long time. But then go into the video editing where I was using large files, high data rate files and all that kind of thing. And the iPad, once you have the file on the iPad, it works incredibly well. But here's the problem. To get your files into this USB-C port is an expensive affair. So I was using dongles and stuff to get my hard drive in here, or the cable from a hard drive wasn't the right cable or whatever. And so that was very slow. The only time I realized this was like a thing was when a friend lent me a very high speed SSD, one of these expensive SSDs, plugged it into here, and it was incredibly fast. So the point of entry is expensive to get your files moving quickly into the tablet. So that's the first issue. You know, it's an expensive affair, whereas with any laptop, you know, Windows laptop, your MacBook, just plugging in any USB hard drive is quick and easy. And just getting those files onto your computer is really easy. And that's the next step that I have to complain about this, is getting those files onto the device can be tricky, especially when you're using high data rates and big files like I was using with the videos. So there were times where I would just leave the iPad to load the videos on with no progress bar, just hoping that all those files would get onto my tablet, and I would leave it for a day and sometimes into the evening and wake up in the morning only to find that some of the files didn't make it onto the iPad and it just stopped loading, and there's no progress bar, so I'm not sure if it's still busy. it's just, in my opinion, a bit of a nightmare. And they have improved it. The new file system is really nice on the iPad, but it's not for big files. And this is where my argument gets kind of carries weight, is that the iPad Air can manage small files without any issue, without any processing issues. You can get the iPad Air in a fairly large storage capacity. The 512 is really just for people like me who wanted to put videos on here, or maybe the 1 terabyte size, but I don't really see a place in the world for those devices, just because of that bottleneck of getting files onto you and then managing them on the file management system. And so this is my praise for the iPad. The iPad as an everyday device for students, for just people using them at home, for even business people where you're using it for admin on a daily basis. I got this case and it comes with a lovely keyboard, and I'm going to do a review on it soon. And it turned it into a bit of an admin laptop. And this device is like beautiful for that. It is the best device for me to use. As soon as I move over to video editing, I need a whole nother thing that I need to do all that work on. But as far as a daily device for doing your daily work, this is, in my opinion, the best device in the world. There it is, just a short video to say, I think you should get the iPad Air. And in that, possibly even the older iPad Air, because the new one is more expensive and the older one will handle what you can throw it at without any issues. But the Pro is not for anyone. I don't see the point of having an iPad Pro unless maybe you've got some fringe use for it as a 3-dimensional design, and even then you're going to need a laptop for that. So that's my opinion. I hope it helps you buying an iPad this Christmas. Please subscribe to my channel. Please click on the affiliate links, it helps me out a lot, and I will see you in the next video.